Oh, hey, folks. Good morning. How are you? This is Paul, and I noticed that we're into double-digit numbers now. We have subscriber number 10. And no, it's not one of my friends, except it could be that guy that had those cool glasses. I'll keep his anonymity, but, they've got these little hands. Not big hands like this, like little small, tiny hands that hold the frames to the glasses, like the coolest glasses I've ever seen. If you're the dude, you stay put, dude. You stay put, because I'm going to be telling you things you ain't going to be able to be hearing anywhere else. Because as far as I can tell, I'm it. And the people on this channel, all 10 of them, are probably among the smartest people in the world right now. In the world, not just the United States. Do you know who is also real smart that nobody gives any credit to? Richie from Boston. You can check out his station. It's called Outlander Jailbreak Outlander, something like that. Put that in, Jailbreak Outlander. That's where he drives in his little Toyota there, that off-road vehicle. And he goes off and he shows you all these beautiful things in nature they look beautiful, but he gets in trouble all the time. The guy's got his shit together, okay? He tried to warn us. He went through at least 3 stations at least of YouTube, RFB1, RFB2, RFB3, and then another one, a 4th one. And like you see with me, when they pop your channel, you lose all your subscribers. So, you can put the word out, and then like with me, I had 2 or 3 people that remembered me and they joined in. They came back because I knew them, but I don't even know who the subscribers are. You can't see it when they come in, so we don't know. Anyways, good morning to all of you. I wish it was a little bit better morning for me. I slept on my phone last night, and I broke my tablet, so I won't have a tablet to use anymore. So what that means, you see how I broke it? I cracked it here, and it lights up, but it won't respond. So, if it would have responded, it would be okay. I wouldn't mind using it with a broken screen, but this one is toast. Now, am I pissed about it? You bet. But see, it's all fucked up. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah, am I pissed off about it? Yeah, I kind of am. But this tablet, the Alcatel tablets that Metro PCS sells, don't bother. This thing was a toad. It was slow, incredibly slow. When I'd go through Drudge Report and I'd scroll up like this, it would just click on anything that the censored that you touched on the screen. In other words, it was hypersensitive. So you couldn't really scroll unless you did something like with your fingernail or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be dramatic. This is the truth. So this thing was a sack of shit. So I'm going to have to change carriers, but I'm not going to do that until my bill is due. So I'm going to be hampered with my reading of the news. Hence, we are going to do another lecture, okay? And I know everybody doesn't like a lecture except for my hardcore fans. But it's kind of important that you listen to old Paul here, okay? It's important that you do. Sorry, folks, I have to do that because they'll turn off after 6 minutes or something. They turn off unless I do that. It's early in the morning. I don't want to make it seem like I'm bloated with self-importance. That's not what I'm trying to do. I was only more or less a student of Richie from Boston. He came and visited my last channel. He made some comments on my videos because he knew that my viewpoints were similar to his. They're almost dead on. And I can't go into it because I'll lose my channel here too. And I have no strikes on this channel. I got a warning for putting up Rodrigo Duterte's video itself of him telling his people over there what the consequences would be if they didn't go and do thing whatever it is over there. I don't know how it is. We have thing 1 and thing 2. I don't know what it is for them. But you can go and take a look through my last videos here from maybe 2 or 3 days ago, a couple days ago, and it's frightening. You take a look at that one, frightening. I put the link up there, and you can see the world's smartest man, Rodrigo Duterte, from the Philippines. And you see, I can't show you a picture of him with my other tablet now or anything else like that. So we're going to be hampered until I can make it to next, well, I think I have to replace my phone on about the 18th or the 19th, something like that, maybe the 20th. So I'm going to have to suffer through this for like maybe another 10 days, 12 days with one phone. I don't even have another backup phone without service that I could use at the internet because I sent them all to my wife and my kid. So I'm just going to have to switch services. I won't F with the tablet anymore. The tablets are horrendous. You just have to have cell phones. So Boost Mobile has a better plan for that. And I'm just going to have to bite the bullet on it, which I don't want to do, but I got to. They were okay. It's a slow upload with Boost, but they're okay. I mean, really slow. Like, forget it. But there's no choice now. And the LG 6 Stylo, great phone. Great phone. Unlike this terrible device for exposition, this Samsung. It's the first Samsung I've ever got. The A, whatever the hell this is. The A12 or whatever the fuck this thing is, it's horrible. The A10 or whatever the fuck this thing is, it's horrendous. Usually, that's why I didn't like Samsung phones, because Samsung phones were like kind of boring to me and kind of run-of-the-mill, and that's exactly what this phone is, except they didn't really get it right. They didn't even get run-of-the-mill right. So, all right, we'll carry on here now, okay? It's time for a lecture. I try here at this channel. Well, it's a new channel because my other ones have been removed. I've had 2. One kind of wasn't because of the scam, but the last one definitely was because of the scam, okay? It was Scam City. Now, I want you folks that are stopping in here, I want you to stop and think about this with me, okay? Again, I don't want to make myself lofty, but I have no choice because I'm a thinker. I can't say that I'm a great thinker, but I'm a thinker. And thinkers will evaluate and they'll do critical thinking. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? And we don't, and you know, I'll spare you with all the Wolverine and all that kind of stuff, okay? I'm not trying to put you kids down. I know you guys love video games, and I mean, I'm with you on the music. Some of it I love, and I know that some of it is probably fairly satanic. I can't help it. I like it, okay? Ariana Grande and all that. I mean, I like it. 34, 35. I can't help. What can I tell you? I used to get shit from one of my subs, and she was a born-again Christian, and I understood her point. But I can't help it. I like it. What can I tell you? This video is for you. Because my 10 subscribers, they've already figured this out. What do you think will happen when you take a country of 3 million people? It's not 3 million people. 30 million people. It's not 30 million people. It's probably, with the illegal immigration here, it's probably close to 400 million people. It's close to 400 million people. 500 million people in a country that, and I understand where you folks want to go if you're a minority. I understand. It's not always benefited you. I get it. And the guy that was put down with the knee on his neck is all the proof you need. I get it, dudes. I get it. All right, we won't go into it. The asshole Republicans that want to tell you that that man died from a heart attack and that this, I mean, and you know who's one of them? Peter Schiff, the gold guy, the one that everybody hates that does Bitcoin. He's out of his mind. You have to be out of your mind. Let's get this straight, people. I am no lefty. Believe me when I tell you, you'll get people that tell me I'm a righty because I want to see immigration controlled. That makes you a righty, right? But I'm not a complete lefty. Believe me when I tell you. But you cannot treat people like this. This was really simple, and then we'll get off into the lecture. I want to make sure you understand this because I don't want you to think that I'm some kind of old white guy that has a very narrow scope of reality. Some of these Republicans are coming out and saying that this George Floyd died because of a heart attack. It had nothing to do with the guy leaning on his neck. You folks have to be sat down into a room, and you need to have some sort of waves go in to your head until you get my pillow guy there, whatever the hell his name is, I forgot now, Mike Lindell, okay, out of your head. Okay, please, because that's about as good as it gets with you fucking retarded Republicans, okay? Sorry, because I know a lot of you are like, well, wait a minute, I'm Republican and I listened to you for a long time. Doesn't matter. Once you detain a person, folks, you don't have to be a cop. All you have to be is a human being. But I know some of the people are not human beings now. Policemen, very much included. Once you take away the right for anyone to do anything, including movement, you have the responsibility to see to it that they don't die. Let's get the over obvious out of the way. And the less obvious, physical harm or debilitating serious permanent injury. You are not allowed to do that once you take a person into custody, no matter how afraid you are for your life that he's black and big. If you can't do it, then I can teach you how to make dozens of dollars a day like me. I can teach you. You don't have to risk, going to jail because you don't know what you're doing as a cop. You can come join me. I can teach you how to use one of these weed eaters right here that I carry in my car and sleep with oftentimes. And I'm the best. And I mean, like, I'm not talking about masturbator. I'm talking about master weed eater. I'm talking about I'd shoo you away like a fly. Most people will come up to me and tell me about how great they are with a weed eater, and they couldn't find their asshole with a funnel. I'm not an expert. I'm like a guru. When you go out and you make your living with a weed eater and don't have anything else, I have a mower, but I'm not going to use it. What's the point? Then you are a guru. You understand? Like a magician. And that's how I do it. Okay? But it's because I can use critical thinking and I know what I'm doing and I'm not afraid to experiment and learn what I'm doing and take a little risk here and there. That's how you get good at stuff. All right, now that I've meandered all about here and told you about George Floyd, Republicans, you have a responsibility as a police officer to make sure the person doesn't get seriously hurt or killed or die, all of which he failed at. I don't care whether he died of a heart attack or whether he died from inflamed hemorrhoids. I don't care. You understand? If this happened to Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy, you Republicans would be up in arms, wouldn't you? You're mindless idiots too. I'm not even going to go there. I'm done with this, okay? We are getting into the lecture now. Folks, in a country of almost 500,000 people, forget about India, forget about China. Russia has, I'm sure, probably 500 million people, although maybe not because it's so spread out and so non-urban. But I mean, you have places, India, Million people, China, million people, right? But I can't say my true feelings, okay? Because it won't go on this platform. They'll get me for hate speech. They're not like us. Do you understand? They're not. Once you travel there and you're not in the military or the Peace Corps, once you go as a person who doesn't have an axe to grind, you begin to see things for what they are. I've been all over the world multiple times. I can tell you. And nobody paid for the ticket. I paid for the ticket. You understand? That's when you start to learn. Not trips with the military. You learn there something too. But you'll learn it through the eyes of a military person. Okay? Same thing with the Peace Corps. You go there, you wear those, the women with the bandy legs with the flower-colored skin and the 1960s dresses that they wear. And we're not talking about that either. Okay? What do you think is going to happen in a country that has been based on freedom? Like, in other words, I want to make sure that you mindless idiots understand this. My subscribers, of course, excluded. And if you're paying attention, you're excluded too. Because at least you're listening to something other than the standard fare. Folks, I just read an article. Okay? The article was about Delta Airlines. I can't do it because I read it on this phone and I had to take it off because I only have one phone now. Folks, this keeps me stable because it's the only way I can keep my sanity. All my videos were removed from my last channel. So I've lost everything like that. But I met one kid and I put my arm around him and he was probably 20 years old, 19 years old. And we loved each other. Not gay. We just knew who each other were. I worked as a security guard place where they were staying. And I just treated them like valuable people. And they didn't want that. My boss wanted me to terrorize those people, and I wouldn't do it. And most of them were young kids from the north. I didn't do it. I treated them like fellow human beings, and I valued them. And yes, I told them, try not to, go through the main place there in just a bathing suit. They don't like that. Don't do that. Don't make a lot of noise at night. Kids are kids. And they were paying. They're paying good money to do it. So my point is, these kids were such good kids. Most of them coming from the Northeast, by the way, and Wisconsin. There were a lot of people from Wisconsin, a lot of people from that part of the region of the world, upper North Midwest, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I met a lot of people from Wisconsin and all up in the Northeast, okay? Now, folks, the reason I mentioned to you about the kids that I met over there, the 20-year-olds, the 19-year-olds, is because they're the future. And the only thing that made me happy this morning, because my other shitty fucking tablets broke, is the fact that I heard a story. I read a story this morning on Drudge. You can look for it yourself. American Airlines had to cancel a flight. They were 15 to 17-year-old students from Boston high schools, because you're allowed to fly without an escort on I think it was either Delta or United. I can't remember. Okay, or American. I think it was American, actually. Whatever it was. It was one of the big three. And they were trying to go to the Bahamas, and they were acting disruptive. Okay? So they had to cancel the whole flight because about 30 of these kids wouldn't, guess what, wear their mask. Now, what do you think that means? I know what it means. You know what it means? It means the kids up in Boston, you can make fun of them all you want. K, let's get in the K. Let's drive the K. Pack the K. Pack. We know. We know how silly it is. But it's no more silly than the bad picture there for 40 years in New York. You understand? There are New York people and there are Boston people. I'm a Boston person. You understand? I can't help it. I'm a Boston person. The only time I took sides was when that fucking pitcher there, Pedro Martinez, was it? Fucking, he hit somebody when the Yankees were playing the Red Sox, and I think I sided with the New York Yankees on that one. But usually it's the other way around. It was one of those times. Now, these kids are figuring it out. You understand? They're figuring it out. They're tired of this. They're tired of it. And I will bet you that a lot of them do not want to have their bodies infringed upon with thing 1 and thing 2. That's all I've got to say about that. You understand? Or, if they're not too terribly bright, they've already had it and they're thinking that they can just go out and do what they want to do. If that's the case, they're not quite as bright as I thought. Because, folks, that's only another step. That's just another tier that you're going up to. That's all in sequence order. That's a sequence of things that you're going to have to do, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, by the way, where they're going to give you more and more challenges that you're going to have to overcome, either by law or mandate. And you're going to do them. Or you're not going to be able to do things like, in this case, fly to the Bahamas for your graduation. Now, if those kids weren't thinged, 1 and 2, I give you all the credit in the world. If you were and you thought that now you were safe, you're believing the nonsense. You understand? You're believing the nonsense. But you see, the people in the Northeast, like Boston, tend to be great thinkers. I'm sorry to say that, folks. But the people from the Northeast, like Dartmouth, Boston College, Yale, they tend to be smart people. And they're beginning to figure out that we don't have any more rights at all. They've been completely stripped away from us. Completely. That's not my opinion. It's my opinion. I think it's severe. Some people don't think it's severe at all to not be able to, get within 6 feet of somebody. But to me, that's inexcusable because it starts having an effect on your psyche. You understand? And we've got brainless idiots here now that are so scared of everything, it's not going to go away. That's why this was done. Because it'll carry on. It's like autonomous now. It's self-feeding. The stupid people will get out here with masks and they'll just sit there and walk around and be terrified, in my opinion, of nothing more than was before. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion, by the way. Okay? Because I showed the Star Trek video on the last channel. I'll see if I can put it up here, but I probably can't do it till I get another phone. I know a Spectre of the Gun, Star Trek, look it up. Go to YouTube, Spectre of the Gun. I know these bullets won't kill me. Therefore, they can't. Not these. I can be killed by a lot of things, but not these bullets. Because these bullets aren't real. And Spock made the rest of the crew and the landing party there realize what was happening was not possible. It was not possible. It was not real what they were in. Even though it's fantasy, it correlates beautifully. Because this is not possible. What they're saying is mathematically not possible. But you want to believe the descendants of the detained and persecuted of World War II. There were a lot of them. A lot of different ones. But there was certain ones that are very, very heavily in the medical field. And they would like nothing better than for you to all be equal under them. I'm sorry to tell you that. But that's the way I feel about it. And I think it's the truth. And we're in really big trouble because they're some of the greatest thinkers in the world. And I'm not like you. I think. And I think hard. And I do analytical thinking, comparative reasoning, discernment, critical thinking. That's why I know what we're up against. And they canceled the flight of American Airlines because the kids were unruly. Well, what do you think happens? You see, I have a lawn customer who has like a class 2 personality, which is she thinks that, everything, she knows everything, okay? Chums with the mayor, all that, right? In that place she lives. Every time I tell her something about how this or that is spreading, she says, well, people are not wearing their mask. Well, what do you expect? What did you think was going to happen? Do you think you can take 500,000 people or 40% of a billion people and have them all do the same thing by scaring them to death? Of course you'll get the Latinos. The Latinos are scared. They're scared of their own shadow now. That's all they can do. They don't have any. A lot of the Americans too. A lot of the gringos. They're scared to death. They walk their dog with face shields on in 30-mile-an-hour winds here. You understand what I'm saying? So this trip that was canceled by American Airlines is not going to be unnoticed. They're going to go, you see, you think it's, it's good, put them off the plane. And by the way, and the closing takeaway from that was the other passengers who were all mindless idiots. They were saying all they had to do is put on their mask and shut up, and they would have gotten there. That's exactly true. And that's exactly what these people from Boston, these brave young kids, knew. The British told you all you had to do is shut your fucking mouth. Take your guns, put them down on the fucking ground, and go back to your homes. But they didn't do that, did they? It was a real simple solution. Instead, they stopped. They stood their ground, and they fought, and they got wiped out. Do you understand, folks? I don't think most of you do. You're not capable of understanding because you don't even know history, not even a thumbnail. You know all about Wolverine, right? That's why these kids didn't back down. That's in their heritage. That's where we came over, Plymouth Rock. Remember? Oh, I forgot. Right? You don't know? That gives me a slight glimmer of hope. Because what they're going to do at American Airlines there, or whatever it was, I think it was American Airlines is going to go to the FCC and they're going to say, hey guys, you know what? Listen, this is a goddamn fucking pain in the ass, okay? Every time we get involved with this fucking face mask, 75% or more of all the problems right now are goddamn face masks. We're tired of fucking face masks. Our stupid, idiotic, dumbed down air waitresses have to go around keep telling people and threatening them to this and that. Well, what do you expect people to do after a year and a half? I'm surprised it even took this long. So there's my rant and my rave for this morning, okay? Folks, there's only going to be one thing you're remembered for in the scheme of things, in the big scheme of things, because you could just keep your mouth shut and just put your mask on, okay? That's the answer, but it wasn't the answer in the Revolutionary War. You did not just put your gun down and go to your homes. They didn't do that, did they? That's why we're here. There's going to be one thing that you're going to be judged on. Did you try to resist? Did you try to get our freedoms back? And this tyranny of forced thing one and thing two on the entire population here of everywhere, basically. Or did you speak out against it? Or did you at least try? That's what you're going to be remembered for. That's the only thing. Not that you helped out Jerry's kids or this or that, or you cooked turkey for Thanksgiving and you gave it out to homeless people. That's not going to be what the big thing is going to be. The big thing is going to be, did you try to restore freedom? Freedom from the 3-letter, in the Egyptian alphabet, you got the 3rd letter in the Egyptian alphabet, the 4th letter of the Egyptian alphabet, and the 3rd letter of the Egyptian alphabet. That corrupt, goddamn, bastardly organization, they're the president right now. And they're going to determine, they're already doing it. They're already trying to demand more from the cruise ship lines. You understand? We don't care about cruise ship lines. We care about the people who have to fly for a living that do not want to go thing one and thing two. We want them to be able to keep their jobs. But I know most of you mindless idiots say, "Hey, just do it and keep your mouth shut," right? Welcome to the Mindless Idiot Channel 2. Take care, folks. Thank you for stopping by. Bye.